HEB is proud to present The Path, the 2018 football season insider show. No store does more than HEB. 20, and they will not catch him today. Brian London shoots through and drills loose the football at the 20-yard line. Drove on by Davis at the 19, and the Bobcats have the big play. For Hayes, he's got the catch inside the 5. Towards the goal line is the end. He's got it. Welcome to Monroe, Louisiana, where tonight the Texas State Bobcats look for both their first Sun Belt win of the season and for the first road win of the year as the Cats face off against the ULM Warhawks, a team fresh off a road win of its own last week at Coastal Carolina. Two receivers either way for Evans. Backpedals to throw. Flushed out to his right. Pressure by Ja'Carrius Smith. Pass is caught at about the 27-yard line by Marquise McCray, but the Bobcats sling him down right around the Sunbelt logo. The ball popped free. The Bobcats say they've got it at the 20-yard line, and do they? Ishmael Davis, the one that ripped it away. And yes, it's Texas State football near the red zone. Bit from the pistol. Turns to his right. It is a keeper for Bitt to his right. Has a block from Keenan Brown. And Bitt dives for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Texas State.
And he had Keenan Brown leading the way. Keenan Brown didn't block one guy. He got outside in front of Tyler Bitt, and he took two Warhawks with him.
Bobcats, a four-man defensive front. They're going to bring four. It is a give to Green, lining up in the backfield, breaks a tackle into the open field now. Cutting outside the near numbers, inside the 40, inside the 30, dragged down inside the 15 at the Bobcat 11-yard line. Two receivers right, one to the left for Turner. Running play for Vaughn up the middle, cuts to his right, and bowls into the end zone, and ULM a PAT away from tying it up. First and 10, Evans play fake pass near side, batted down. Coming in for the Bobcats, that was Clifton Lewis. Look at a big game last week. And now out to attempt a 43-yard field goal is Craig Ford. This kick is up, end over end kick, and that kick naturally is perfect. On third down, the Bobcats bring the blitz on 3rd and 6. Pass the far side, man wide open to the end zone. Pass is caught. Touchdown, Randallus Batiste.
You know, they had 100-plus plays, 100-plus yards on 3 plays. And again, we play well when 11 guys play well. When we have 8, 9, and 10 guys play well, we give up, cut your head off type plays to our opponent. We got to fix that on defense.
First down for the 39 for a bit of the offense. Trips to his left. It is a handoff to Brown, looking for a cutback lane up the middle. 45 midfield, nearly slips another tackle, stumbling down to the Warhawk 42-yard line. First down, Texas State, gain of 19.
Robert Brown is running really well tonight. When there's been room to run, Robert Brown has been able to get to the hole, has also been able to create his own daylight.
Second and 7 from their own 30. Ball at the right hash. Snap back to Evans. The Bobcats drop 8 in coverage. Evans, all kinds of time, steps up, runs into a blocker, back to his left, and eats a sack. Savion Patton, Frankie Griffin converge on the play. On 39 from their own 28. Snap back to Evans out of the gun. The Bobcats again 8 in coverage. Evans, though, pressured again, and again he goes down. Back at the 26-yard line. Coming off the edge, Ishmael Davis. On second down, handoff to White. And he is punished by Nick Daniels there by the Bobcats. I believe another defender, Frankie Griffin, the one. No, Lewis a tackle. Craig Ford was good earlier tonight from 43. This a 33-yard attempt. Here is the snap, set down. Kick is up by Ford. Kick is good. Correction, 31-yard attempt there by Ford. A kicker with 16 career misses is 2 for 2 tonight. With 44 seconds to go in the third quarter, it is a 20-7 ULM lead. On second and 8, here's a blitz from ULM. Bitt pressured off his back foot, throws for Brown. A middle screen to the 35, to the 40. There's a flag down, and Brown still running inside of midfield, down to the ULM 48-yard line, and I believe they're going to tack on 15 more for roughing the passer. Out of the gun, Vitt. Press coverage to the far side for ULM. It is a play fake for Vitt, taking off himself 25-20, cutting it back inside the 15, down to the far numbers at the 12-yard line. First down and a gain of 20 yards there for Tyler Vitt. And now Stewart comes out to attempt a 30-yard field goal. He's only attempted one field goal this season, missed at UTSA from 34 yards away. Snap set down by Vitt, kick by Stewart is up, end over end kick, and it sails wide left, no good. The Bobcats, one of their better drives in a long time with this game, but does not end in points. The Warhawks maintain a 20-7 lead.
Offensively, it's amazing. We had 16 plays on offense, consecutive plays where we could not put that positive play in effect and then have another positive play behind it. So it's been positive play, negative play, positive play, negative play, positive play, negative play. That happened to us 16 times Saturday, and you can't be successful on offense when you're doing that.
On second down and 10, a run behind left tackle. The Bobcats rip the ball away. Lewis has got it for Texas State. It's another turnover for the Bobcat defense in business at the ULM 46. They'll bring a four-man rush. Vitt with protection, throwing to the far side. The pass is complete at the 20-yard line. Mason Hayes a catch and a Bobcat first down, gain of 15. Snap back to the freshman. Vitt on the option. He will pitch it late. Running into the end zone, Robert Brown. Short left corner, and the Bobcats get an important fourth quarter touchdown. Trips to his right, no receivers, wide left. A first down from his own 16. Evans with the handoff, and the running back Gore. Lassoed down by Ishmael Davis. Brian London for a tackle for loss back at the 15-yard line. Press coverage from ULM's corners. It is a run for Taylor up the middle, 35-30, cutting back to his right into the secondary and down to the Warhawk 25-yard line. 21-yard gallop for Anthony A.T. Taylor. Soft coverage from the secondary. ULM bringing a blitz, so rush 5. Vitt pressured on the rollout to his right. The freshman on the run throws the ball away towards the near sideline, brings up fourth down. Evans out of the shotgun, takes a snap. It is a run. Evans on the keeper, 25-30. Evans sent down to the 37-yard line, and that might do it for the Warhawks. ULM has picked up his third straight victory over Texas State. Final score from Monroe, Warhawks 20, Texas State 14.
I'm Brett Ramsey. I've worked at H-E-B for over 40 years. Here, our team developed the Cody brand. These are coolers and tumblers that really stack up against other high-performance brands. They're as tough as Texas and perfect for all the things we love. And made with the highest quality at the best price, or we wouldn't put the H-E-B name on it. So enjoy keeping it cold without getting burned by the price. This is the Cody department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
When you're ready for a car that's kayak friendly, or you're just ready for a downsize, we approve. UFCU, with rates that challenge the big guys and people who understand your journey. We have auto loans for whatever life you want to live. Apply today at ufcu.org/myauto.
Hear that? That's 50,000 Texans. That's how many of us pick Texas Oncology every year. Every one of us has a story just like mine, about being so much more than just a patient. So start your story with Texas Oncology and see why they're my team.
Obviously, disappointing loss Saturday. Thought our kids fought hard. Again, I haven't had any complaints with our effort throughout the entire season. So hopefully that'll continue, and I'm sure it will. We've got too many good kids for it not to. So we're expecting, really good effort as we get to this part of the season. Some positives from the game. Obviously, I mentioned Jalen Momorell playing well. I thought he did really well for his first start. I thought he did no turnovers in the ball game, which I thought was huge going into the ball game. Again, I mentioned the defense, only giving up 20 points and only 3 in the second half. I thought that was a positive for us. We got 2 turnovers. We probably should have had 2 more. We get the holding penalty on the double move, and I think Jay Sean did a great job of getting over the top, reading quarterback's eyes anyway. And I think we had a couple other opportunities with the ball close or in our hands that one time we stripped the ball from the quarterback, it bounces right back to him. So we had opportunities in that game. Balls obviously not bouncing our way, but we have to keep plugging and make it bounce our way. Winning's hard, man. Winning is really hard. I was in a meeting last week with a couple of our administrators, and I think I've been around one team. I've been a part of one team since 1997 in college football that hadn't won, and that's been difficult for me as a coach to be around that, and this has been the most difficult. I was part of the turnaround at North Carolina. I came in year 2 at North Carolina. The year I came in at North Carolina, they were 3-9. The year before, took over the coordinator's job, and the next year we went 8-5. I think we went 8-5, 7-6 in those 4 years. My last year being the interim head coach. Went to Ohio State. They were 6-7, maybe the first losing season they had in a long time at Ohio State, and won 24 straight games at Ohio State. So, been a part of some cultural fix and rebuilds. This has been a little bit harder than this has been a tough one. I've had several administrators tell me in 2015 the team quit. And one of the things that I pride myself on is never having a team that'll quit. So we're still fighting every day. I thought we had a really good practice today. Kids went out and worked really hard today. So we'll continue to move on.
I mean, everyone comes every day with energy. And if we don't have energy, you can tell. So whenever the energy's down, people try to pick it up. And when it's high, we have good practices. And when you practice good, you play good. This
is a 5-out Texas Tech, empty. They're going to run it occasionally just to keep you honest. But when they run it with a purpose. They a lot of wide zone stuff to get you running, cut the ball back. They did that to us last year several times. The thing that struck me more than anything else, going back and looking at tape, and then this morning about 5 o'clock, me watching our game from last year. We had 3 opportunities last year to intercept the ball and didn't. One of them we would have taken back for a touchdown. Would have changed the whole maybe complexion of the game. We had 3 balls hit us in the hands last year. When you play a team like this, you can't lose those opportunities, and we did last year. So the challenge this year for us is to tackle well in space, stop the run, and make the plays on the ball that when you have those opportunities. We have to do that. But, this team's, they've plugged them, put some guys in places of roles in those guys and really doing kind of the same thing.
Show off your tailgating skills and team pride, and you could win a $100 H-E-B gift card and bragging rights. To participate, all you have to do is show your team spirit by decking out your tailgate site and displaying H-E-B products in a creative way.
The Learfield Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or at L Directors Cup on Twitter or Facebook. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
We come from many different places to the green hills of Texas. We bring our dreams, our ambitions, and a desire to do more. We put in the work every day because winning takes preparation, teamwork, and leadership. Our sweetest victories are in developing new technologies, solving problems, honing our talents, and sharing what we learn. At Texas State University, winning is making our tomorrow better than today.
This weekend, the Texas State football team will honor its history as the Bobcats will wear throwback jerseys and helmets donning the old Southwest Texas name. The callback to that era has both Bobcat fans and SWT alums excited about homecoming this Saturday.
So we've always, the past few years since I've been here, we've always kind of talked about, oh, maybe this is the year to do a throwback, this is going to be it. We really wanted to make sure that TXST and Texas State brands were strong enough to be able to hold up against, bringing SWT back. And so we were all sitting in a preseason football meeting this year, and it got brought up again. And, we kind of talked it out a little bit, and we all decided that it was going to be the time to go. So we got permission across university to use it, and worked with university marketing to help start pushing it. And so, it just was the right time. Fan reaction to everything has been pretty positive so far. Wearing the uniforms to tie it all back to the Southwest Texas days is going to be really cool. Like I mentioned already, homecoming, it's a great way to tie it all in together, so we'll already have tons of alumni and groups here. So I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, great promotion that we're doing, and we're all really excited about it.
Again, I just think it's really important to study your history and know your history in your program and in your school. I think that's really, really important. One of the first things I did when I took this job, because to be honest with you, when I heard Texas State, I didn't think of Texas State. I thought of Southwest Texas, and I thought about, Coach Wacker. I thought about what he had done here, because I go back to, I've got some really close friends in this profession that coach for Coach Wacker at TCU, and they all just rave about Coach Wacker.
The SWT era was one rich with success, highlighted by the Bobcats' back-to-back Division II national championships in 1981 and 1982 under legendary head coach Jim Wacker. For The Path, Texas State Football, I'm Brian Freeman.
Hey Bobcats, make sure to show your love and follow the Bobcats on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and their YouTube channel.
We come from many different places to the green hills of Texas. We bring our dreams, our ambitions, and a desire to do more. We put in the work every day because winning takes preparation, teamwork, and leadership. Our sweetest victories are in developing new technologies, solving problems, honing our talents, and sharing what we learn. At Texas State University, winning is making our tomorrow better than today.
A number of Texas State's players have gone from being walk-ons to earning scholarships. One of those players is Bobcat defensive end Ishmael Davis, a player who's already earned his degree. Davis has also recovered from a season-ending injury a year ago to help lead a strong Texas State defense this season.
Dappy, pressure, gets out of the sack, loses the football at the 20-yard line, dove on by Davis at the 19, and the Bobcats have their big play.
It's just meant an awful lot to our program. We've asked him to move positions, put on weight, be a leader. We've asked him to do a lot of different things for us when he didn't have to.
Snap to the sophomore, give to Fields up the middle, and he's denied. Ishmael Davis, a tackle for loss, back at the 41-yard line, turnover on downs for the Texas State defense.
We missed Ish when Ish got hurt last year at the UTSA game. Maybe was as big an injury to our team as any last year. Just his work ethic, just his presence on our team and on the field during game days, really, really important.
The injury really didn't affect me too much. It, if anything, it helped me. It made me respect the game more. Yeah, I mean, it was tough sitting in the training room watching people practice. I was just on the bike every day. And just seeing everybody on the field, I just took it for granted before, never again.
Evans with the handoff, and the running back Gore lassoed down by Ishmael Davis. Brian London for a tackle for loss back at the 15-yard line.
Mental was probably the most important part. The physical part, after you have an ACL, like reconstruction, your body's already like better than it was before, because it's a new part and everything. But the mental part is what everyone has to deal with. And mentally, it was hard, but just trust the process.
He's one of our leaders, and we're excited we got him back. I thought he played his best game Saturday. It looked like the Ishmael Davis that we know can be, and it was at times last year. I think Saturday was maybe the first time we saw that.
On 39 from their own 28, snap back to Evans out of the gun. The Bobcats again, 8 in coverage. Evans, though, pressured again, and again he goes down. Back at the 26-yard line, coming off the edge, Ishmael Davis.
Don't take anything for granted. You go out every day, go hard every day, even in practice, because you practice how you play, and that's important.
The Learfield Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or at L Directors Cup on Twitter or Facebook. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
Welcome back to The Path, Texas State football. The Bobcats are back home this week as they host New Mexico State in their annual homecoming game at Bobcat Stadium. For more on the game, we're joined by New Mexico State TV play-by-play broadcaster Adam Young. Adam, thanks for joining us. Before we break down the game itself this weekend, let's go back to a year ago, an historic season for the Aggies, winning 7 games, going to a bowl game for the first time since 1960, and winning the Arizona Bowl over Utah State. Just how significant was last season for New Mexico State's program?
Well, Brian, thanks for having me. It was a huge deal. I mean, there were 40,000 Aggie fans in Tucson last year at that Arizona Bowl game. It was huge for the program. It carried over into this year. The Aggies had some really, really good home crowds in the first 2 games. There was a lot of hype around the program into this year, and it's been hard to sustain because they lost their top receiver, their top rusher, their top passer, and their top tackler from last year. Now, they bring back a lot, but it's been hard to fill those shoes that were left. So it's been a little bit of an up-and-down season. The offense struggled early. The defense played well early. And now lately, the offense has been very good. The defense has struggled. So the biggest issue for the Aggies this entire year has been trying to find a complete game, and they haven't played that yet. If they're good in one facet, they've struggled in the other. And right now, the defense is really struggling, and they're on a 2-game losing streak.
Now, Adam, you've gone through how things have gone for the Aggies so far this season. Again, a 2-6 record so far this year, but they've played better football over the past month, including at one point back-to-back wins over UTEP and Liberty. What has been the biggest difference in play for the Aggies after that 0-4 start during these past 4 weeks?
Yeah, the biggest difference has been quarterback. They switched quarterbacks during the New Mexico game on September 15. They went with redshirt freshman Josh Atkins, who's a Texas guy from Smithson Valley, and he's been really, really good. The offense is averaging right around 40 points per game during his 4 starts. But since he has taken over, the defense has started to struggle, and part of that has been injuries. They're missing a couple guys up front of the D-line. Terrell Hanks, the star linebacker, was out for 3 straight games. He did return last week, and that was nice to see. But for some reason, the defense has started to struggle, and that was one of the bright spots early. So we'll see if they can figure it out this weekend.
Now, taking things back to the offense, Adam, you mentioned just how well the Aggies have been playing since the change at quarterback. As far as the Bobcats are concerned, and you referenced this earlier, there is no Larry Rose to deal with anymore or Jaleel Scott at wide receiver. But in terms of playmakers on this year's team, who are the guys outside of Atkins that will be making the plays for the Aggies this Saturday?
You're going to see a lot of different guys. They're going to use 3 different running backs, Royce Caldwell, Jason Huntley, and Christian Gibson. And Gibson is emerging as a star. He's a guy who was not used much his first couple of years in college, and now he has 6 touchdowns in his previous 3 in the Aggie running game. Jason Huntley's explosive. I know Texas State saw a lot of him last year. He's a running back who can be used in the passing game, and they're going to use a lot of different wide receivers. Last year they had Jaleel Scott, who kind of spearheaded that crew. He went to the NFL. Josh Atkins will spread it out. They're going to use 7, 8, 9, 10 wide receivers as far as guys getting targets. So, and I know Larry Rose III has been kind of the guy in the last couple of years. Since he's gone, it's kind of been a group effort to fill his shoes.
Saturday will mark the 3rd game in a row that the Aggies will have played a Sun Belt Conference opponent. Now, the Bobcats and Aggies have had some history with one another, both in the Sun Belt Conference and for 1 year in the WAC. Technically, Saturday is a non-conference game, but does this have a conference game feel to it?
You know, it does a little bit, and we talked to Doug Martin about that a couple weeks ago before the Louisiana game when they started this stretch, and we asked him, does this mean more to you guys? And he said it does. He said this is a chip on your shoulder stretch of games with these 3, and even the players are saying the same thing. I mean, they're not happy about being left out of the Sun Belt, if you will, for lack of a better phrase, and it does mean a little more, and the coaches and the players have said that.
This is a game featuring 2 teams trying to get their seasons going back in the right direction. Both have losing streaks going into the game this weekend. What do you feel, Adam, Saturday's game will come down to?
For New Mexico State in particular, it's going to come down to defense. They've really struggled, Brant, stopping the run. They need to find a way to stop the run and give their offense a chance. The offense is playing well enough to win games. They put up 31 on a really good Georgia Southern defense, and you guys know that from a couple weeks ago. So the offense can score points, and they're matching scores. They've done that in the previous 2 weeks in the 2 losses. If the defense finds a way to even, hold Texas State 25 or 30, you would think the offense would be able to put up points to give the Aggies a chance. If the Aggies can find a way to get both facets on the same page at the same time, they'll have success. They just haven't had a complete game yet this year, and they're still searching for that.
All right, thanks, Adam, and that's going to do it for this week's show. Tune in next week for a recap of the Bobcats game versus the Aggies and for a look ahead at Texas State's next game versus Georgia State. Until then, I'm Brain Freeman, reminding you to trust the path. We'll see you next time.
HEB is proud to present The Path, the 2018 football season insider show. No store does more than HEB.